welcome back to my channel. Um, that's one of the items I'm going to be showing you tonight. What I want to do is I wanted to go through some of the items that I'm unpacking and unboxing, and go through and basically explain what I bought them for, what I intend to do with them, and how much profit I can potentially make from them. We are going to start, I guess, with the owls because, you know, that's how I started it out with. These are, knocking dishes. These are foam craft from 1981. There is a mama owl and a little baby owl. I'm realizing that this one's maybe a little darker, but we're gonna call him Daddy Owl. I bought these I paid $1.50. Almost thought I said 100 there, didn't you? I paid $1.50 for these. I looked them up. They could sell anywhere from, I've seen as low as $5. But I've also seen as high as $20. So I would expect somewhere in between. I could get the $5, but and still make a profit. But then I could get the $20, depending if I have the family or if I find the family. The second thing, I'm trying to find a space for these. I bought these this weekend. My family and I traveled to a outdoor yard sale / antique mall store thing. My grandmother said, a little bit of history. My grandmother said she had as her wedding set was the Johnson's Brothers old mill pattern. I find that in my area it's hard to find those, and when we do find those, I usually end up snatching them up unless they're in horrible condition. Her pattern is brown. They also come in blue and a maroon. Those colors are worth more than the brown. I don't know if they're a little rare. I actually, maybe last year, found, and it's what I think, this is what I think, so don't come at me. I feel like at the store, they had these little trinkets, and they're only about this big, and it had the different patterns of what they look like. So the average housewife could go in and say, I want to see what this pattern looks like in this color, and then she could order it. That was my assumption of what it was. I have them. I'll have to pull them out for a different video. But I found out that the old mill pattern was made in blue, which blue is my color. Of course, blue is also the rarest probably that you can find. I digress. So I had went to this flea market this weekend, and as I was looking through one of the ladies' booths, she had the old mill pattern. I'm going to show you these. This is not the old mill pattern. But if you notice the brown here and the scroll work or the flowers, that from looking for it so much has kind of like drawn me in. So I can usually spot them. I'm not saying I'm perfect and then I spot them every time. But I saw these, and there was 2 plates and a cream or a sugar bowl that I ended up scoring in the old mill pattern. I gave them to my mom to help her with her set. These I found, and I don't have one exact dish set. I don't have one exact collection. I tend to find pieces and I gravitate towards them because of the fact that I know how hard it is to to get a complete set, and how expensive it is to get a complete set. And there's so many out there that are beautiful, and I think why limit yourself to one when you can have all of the colors of the rainbow. So I came across these. I'm trying to move these off. There's the teacups, which this one had a chip, but I'll get into that in a second. This is the teacup. It is, if it focuses, it's a very pretty like mill with the trees and stream. I have 2 teacups, and then I have 2 saucers. which you can see a little better there, the design. I love how the bright red and the blue against the green, and I just think it's pretty. It is Millstream, made by Johnson's Brothers, made in England. It has, usually they have the back that looks like that, or they have like that. This now the teacups does not. It's just the saucers. She had more of the saucers than she had the teacups. She only had 2 teacups that matched the set. Now, she did have another 2 teacups that I do not know. There might have been Friendly Village, because there's also that too. Now, Friendly Village, they also made modern. These, I think, because of the age cracks and all of that, I suspect that these are older. I paid for 2 plates, or hold on, let me go back. I paid for 2 of the the old mill plates. I paid for 2 of those. I paid for a creamer, these 2 saucers, and 2 cups, and it was $5. I looked these up tonight. Basically I paid $4 for them. And I would expect to get possibly $5 per set. They are a little more rare than the old mill pattern. So there's that. Trying to see where I was going next. We're gonna go with this. Trying to get it out without breaking anything. This is Fenton glass, or at least what I expect to be Fenton glass. Because of the fact that it is a Fenton pattern. I could be wrong. Bear with me. I am subject to mistakes. The reason why I think it is Fenton is Fenton did make this pattern. They did make the silver crest. So it is a band of white or clear completely around. I paid $5 for this. It does not have the stamp on the bottom. Fenton sometimes has a stamp on the bottom, basically signifying that it is Fenton. I will come across that later and show that to you. If my understanding is correct, earlier pieces, they did not have the stamp. This is a milk glass. Milk glass is not as valuable as the colored glass. No, a lot of people really don't like the milk glass. Somebody suggested to me to decorate for winter with the milk glass and the white silver crest. I started a collection of that. I have some other pieces. I came across this on one of my adventures with my family. $5. I figured even if, God forbid I'm wrong and it's not Fenton, it's still a pretty piece that would blend in quite well. So everything that I'm seeing, people are listing it for like $20, and then you can tell that they didn't get that. So I don't expect that it's worth a lot or that. It is apparently called a melon pattern. So you notice how it shapes out like a melon. That I don't expect a lot of resale for, but I repeat myself. Where are we gonna go next? I'm gonna do my Yellowstone. Okay, so this I bought at the same time I bought the Fenton glass. This is Treasure Craft. It's marked on the back. Oh my god. It's marked on the back, Treasure Craft. It's made in the USA. It is a squirrel, and it was a travel piece, or I guess souvenir of Yellowstone Park. I loved I'm trying to get it. How it's like a yellowish orange, and then it's a bright orange. I just think that's so pretty. I don't think it could be an ashtray, but how ironic would it be if it was a nut tray, or a catch-all or something like that. So that I paid, I want to think it had a price on it, which the sticker's still on that, and I apologize for that. It had a price of $10. I want to think there was a discount on the booth of maybe like 20%. I did look that up, and I paid $8 for it. We're gonna say, I want to think it was something like that, or at least that's what I have written down. And there's one listed for $14.99, so I could make a profit if I decided to sell it. I don't know that I want to at this time. It's just, I'm gonna enjoy it for a little bit, make sure I don't break it, and then possibly in the future sell it. Next up, we're gonna do my deer. So I have this made in Brazil deer. I purchased it. It's apparently a fawn, so we'll say it. I purchased it at a antique store that was having a deal. I want to think everything was 50% off, and it was there. I would suggest, let me start this way. I would suggest looking everything up on eBay. There's also Worth Point, but I think you have to subscribe to that, which is another thing in the works. I would highly suggest looking up prices of items and how much they're expected to get for them before you buy them. Case in point, this deer. I purchased him for, I want to think like $2. I didn't spend a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a $100 purchase. There's a lot listed and a lot of different color variations. There's some that are darker and look scary, and then there's some that are lighter and look weird. I feel like they're not very color coordinated or how they should be. Trying to say, I see that there's one that was sold, which is not a good sign. Probably would not have bought it if I saw one. If there's a lot listed and there's only one sold, that's not a good thing. But that one did sell for $11.90. So there's that. We move on. That, I want to sell. I do not want to keep it. I will list it. I'd like to say I'd list it around Christmas time, because then you get like the Christmas decorating sort of thing. Next up, I'm going to do the Fenton that I talked about, and then we're going to end with something really, really cute. This I bought this weekend. I bought it Saturday at the crafty thingy I went to. It is a Fenton bear. It's a Fenton birthstone bear. How you can tell it's Fenton is it has the original stamp on the bottom. If I can get it to go. There's also a little not hairline chip, but a little flea bite on it right there. And then on the butt, there is, and I'm trying to get it to focus, is a stamp right here that basically states that it's Fenton. I think that it is September, because it is a darker, like a sapphire, so I'm assuming that's what it is. My opinion, not stating a fact, but my opinion about Fenton, or most things in general, clear glass does not sell as well as colored glass, which milk glass, same thing. A Fenton bear, I recently saw one that was blue and was hand painted. If they're hand painted, it usually means that you can expect more from them, or get more out of them, if they're a cheaper price. It was hand painted and it was blue, and it was worth about $20, and I think they had it listed at $40, but of course the booth was 50% off. So it would have been about what, if you're collecting it or you want, that would be a perfect price. If you're trying to flip it, or me trying to flip it, I really don't think that I could get that. It also, Fenton is very popular of what what items there, if there's a lot of that item out there. There's, I'm trying to think. These guys, the Fenton bears, I feel like are very popular. Fenton cats, I feel like are very popular. I have seen very little Fenton deer, very little Fenton deer. And I've also seen very little Fenton dogs. It's either people are collecting them and they have them. I did join a research group on Facebook, and somebody did list their whole entire collection of Fenton ducks. And I was like, oh yeah, they're adorable. I recently purchased a Fenton book. That way I could look up items and see exactly when I thought that product was made. There was items in there that I probably will only ever see them on the pages of that book. I looked up some items that were like Fenton made Halloween items. It is insane. So I paid $5 for him. I would expect potentially that I could get anywhere from $6 to $21, depending on how bad somebody wants it. Because of the chip or the flea bite, I would think probably on the lower end for me. But that's me. I'm going to end, or the next item and my last item, hopefully my phone doesn't die, is a chipmunk salt and pepper shakers. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the cuteness? Aren't they adorable? So there's one. And there is the second one. So I bought these earlier this week. There is a sticker or stamp on them that says Paul Mar and made in Japan. Produced and made in Japan. I paid too much for these. I paid like $7. There's a pair listed for $6.49. They were just too cute for me to leave. I tend to not buy salt and pepper shakers that are that expensive, but they were cute, so I had to. I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to put them out more often. If you have any comments, questions, anything like that below, just place them below. I do have a Facebook page, Virginia Bee Creations. Please check it out. Some of the items, if you're local to me in Maryland, I sell through there until I get onto eBay. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night.